It's showtime, folks. Enjoy the show.
And a fine Saturday matinee to you both, Tom and Ray.
Good morning.
Tom
Huzzah!
and Ray. Wow, you guys are click and clack. Tom and Ray Magliazzi, the
What?
Tappet brothers.
I'm lost.
Click and clack. Come on, you got what?
All right.
Not a big NPR
Love
crowd
it.
here. Great. That's fantastic.
Terry Gross. Is that NPR? I don't know what you're saying.
Okay, I'd like to open with some very important news. I'm going to go straight to Quibi Corner.
Oh, yeah.
Okay, now I've been bearish on Quibi for a time.
Not you.
But now, Ray, it seems like Quibi may be turning their very own corner. Did you see the news? Did you see the news about Quibi changing over or doing the drive-in?
No, what does that mean?
Well, it means that Quibi, during the pandemic, has finally decided that maybe people want to watch stuff on a bigger screen than their phone, which is sort of breaks the fundamental model of Quibi.
The whole idea.
That was the whole point was small screen.
Yeah.
But what is a smart, enterprising company to do when they're faced with a fundamental global challenge that alters their business model? They pivot. And here they are. They actually played the Dane DeHaan thriller, The Stranger, which you might remember is one that I called out early on as one that I would love to see if it wasn't on damn Quibi. Well, they actually played the whole thing on a very big screen in a drive-through because drive-thrus are all the rage in a pandemic. And so there you go. I thought it's a really neat story that they actually got to see their own property on the big screen for the very first time.
But wait, I have two questions because I don't, I don't know that much about Quibi even after all of your rants. I thought, isn't it up and down? Meaning it's made
Well, that's
to
a cool
look,
thing. Yeah.
So how does that work on a movie screen? And then also I thought all the Quibi things were incredibly short.
Well, the thing about Quibi is I think it has that really smart technology where you can actually turn the phone and it adjusts the cropping.
Are you sure?
And so
I thought that was a complaint, is that you couldn't do that.
Oh,
I could be wrong.
Now,
I shouldn't be correcting you, but I thought that was part of the weirdness.
Interesting. This is what's so interesting about Quibi is that in fact it's funny because the latest update I have not tried this yet, but the latest update to Final Cut Studio, just came out. And apparently they have this whole machine learning tool that allows you to say, okay, I want you to intelligently follow the subject of whatever is in the frame, even when I tell you I want to crop it for like 9:16 instead of 16:9, which I think was the whole idea behind Quibi. And science was applied to Quibi to be able to follow where the subject is and to automatically adjust depending on what source they are working with at the same time. It was crazy, like what they actually did to invent new technology to make Quibi work. And so I'm not a subscriber. I don't know actually how it ends up working, but I heard it's pretty smart.
Okay.
And so you do have, I think they do have a format of it to actually show it widescreen. Pretty sure.
Okay. So it would only make sense to do that.
That's going to take
But then
some...
I thought everything is super short too.
Well, it's super short just because they're cut up into short segments. But if you string them all together back to back, they become much longer, right?
Oh, right. Well, I guess they would take out the ins and outs or something. I mean, if it's made to close.
So and this
every
is
10 minutes.
That's a very good question. So here from the article on Hollywood Reporter, this means the series, which takes place from 7 p.m. to 7 a.m. over one night in Los Angeles, was seen at this drive-in as it has never been shown to viewers, with timestamps of 8 p.m., 9 p.m., and so on, marking what would traditionally be under the 10-minute episode added to Quibi each day. So you're watching it as a film. But every 10 minutes, it just jumps and says, hey, boom, now it's 8 o'clock. Now it's 9 o'clock. Now it's 10 o'clock.
Okay. All right. Well,
So this is one that actually I thought looked really interesting. I really hope at some point they figure out a way to actually do more fun releases like this. I would absolutely go see this at a drive-in.
Sure.
Absolutely. We did the Jurassic Park at a drive-in 2 weeks ago, and
Adorable.
I had a blast. So cute, that movie. So cute.
I still haven't seen a drive-in movie in my entire life.
Really?
Isn't that weird? Drive-through? No, drive-in movie.
Do you have any near you?
Yeah, you just drive in.
I must. This is my new voice. Do you like it?
Well, because this one was in Los Angeles, Tom.
I know. I live in Los
you
Angeles.
could have gone to
I must
Quibi
have-
Central.
I don't know. I guess I'll put that on a list somewhere. I just
Would
kind
you?
of assume I won't like it. Because it'll be too far away and the sound won't be as good. And I don't know.
Let me tell you, we were at the drive-thru, and you'll find this quaint. I found myself so enamored by the whole experience, the sound, the way the screen sort of glows into the night sky, that it immediately feels like you are actually at a Spielberg movie, or better yet, it feels like the drive-in sequence in Twister.
Right. That's terrible.
Right? It's terrible, but it does that the whole time. You're watching Jurassic Park, and I'm expecting the screen to be blown away. Always check the tree line. So I actually have
yourself to a pipe.
Totally.
Underneath the
So
concession
I
stand.
actually I took a bunch of footage of myself, like walking behind the car, like doing this tracking shot behind the cars with the screen in the distance, just because I want that like slow-mo.
Yeah.
Across the it was a really, really fun experience. And so I am all in on drive-in movies, not drive-through movies, which would be, I guess, really short format.
If you try to watch something on a red box outside of a Kroger, it doesn't really work. But.
They're all 3 minutes long.
Yeah.
Last little Quibi note for those who are looking forward to something new on Quibi. Ryan Reynolds and Samuel L. Jackson are in for an animated series called Fa the Mucka on Quibi, in which for some strange reason Samuel Jackson's character has to become the caregiver for Ryan Reynolds' character, and chaos ensues. Again, it is an animated show on Quibi. Those are some big, straight up big names for a Quibi cartoon, a Quitoon.
Yeah.
So we'll see. Welcome to our Quibi future.
I could totally see there being a whole gimmick with like Quibi screens that are, long, tall. You know what I mean? All the movie gimmicks over the years that there have been, I will not be surprised if and when that becomes a gimmick.
Ray, you just did it. You just won the show, because now all I want to see is a 16:9 giant drive-in movie screen that actually swivels depending on the content. So you may go to the movie and it swivels, so it's now tall, and you have to look like 3.5 stories up higher than you normally would. That would be amazing.
What if
you made it even more dangerous for a Twister.
Yeah, right.
You made it taller. What are you doing?
Or what if you had a screen that was cylindrical and you could like sit all around the screen and it moved around the
covered
cylinder?
in broken glass. You're going to kill everyone.
Did you guys hear that there's a new biopic coming out about John Belushi?
Oh, really?
Yeah.
No, I did
John
not. Because
Belushi
the first
is a
one was
hero
super.
of mine.
Really?
You have the Funko. You have a Belushi Funko?
I do. I actually have two. I have one of him in the college sweater and one of him in the toga.
Thanks for spreading the wealth, Ray. Seems like you're kind of hoarding.
Apparently, they're coming out with this John Belushi biopic, and it's something that's apparently been in the works for a little while, and I didn't even know about it. And the reason that I heard about it was because they just announced that Adam Pally or Polly, I've never even heard of him.
Adam Pally?
Is it
I
Pally?
love Adam Pally.
What's he been in? Because I'm not even familiar with him.
Happy Endings is one of his biggest things.
Okay.
Which was such a great show. It was heartbreaking when that ended.
It's a great show.
So apparently, he's now in the running to play Belushi.
That could be interesting.
I think he would crush it.
Yeah. He's really funny.
He's so funny, and I think he could really channel the oddball nature of like his damage,
Right.
Belushi's damage.
He was also in the Mindy Project. Did you ever watch that, Ray?
No,
Ray.
I'm a loser. I'm sorry.
He could be interesting. I'm surprised that they're doing, wasn't Wired sort of legendarily hated? The original or the older
Right, with
Jim Belushi
Michael
biopic?
with Michael Chiklis.
Was that who it was?
Yeah, I'm pretty sure that was Michael
Weird.
Chiklis. Yeah, right.
I thought people were really against that.
Well,
But maybe I'm making things up.
well, there was actually a lot of backlash concerning that movie, but this one I think is at least at the moment slightly. I don't want to say better received because it's not even out yet, but it's not being as frowned upon yet because Dan Aykroyd is one of the executive producers.
Oh, wow. Okay. That's a big difference.
So, I mean, Dan Aykroyd and Belushi in real life were like joined at the hip. So that kind of concerns me just a little bit, to be perfectly honest, because it makes me think that it's going to be overly positively biased. Not that I want to slam John Belushi, but you know.
Yeah, no, but I mean, that's sort of the way it seems to go now with Bohemian Rhapsody, with
Right.
Elton John's movie, like all the biopics these days seem to be sort of shepherded by the actual people. And so they like in Elton John's movie, what was that called?
Rocket Man.
High Stepper?
Rocket Man.
High Stepper? What's that?
What?
Why was that my go-to? High Stepper? Weird. No, with Rocket Man, I like that he's like, the character 3 different times goes, I'm the worst person in the world. And then he's totally not. He's kind of weirdly beloved by everyone, and everyone's just mean to him all the time. So, yeah, but I like that there are people that were in his life getting behind it, though, because then there might be actual more access to certain things.
Right.
Like his family would maybe be on board. So that's interesting. I'll totally see that. I'm a big Adam Pally fan.
And I think this is going to be, I don't have any basis for this, but just judging from the title of the movie, which is simply Belushi, I would think that they would base it a lot off of the biography that's out entitled Belushi. And I have that book. It's really, really interesting. It's not like a traditional biography. It's actually snippets of interviews with all the people that he knew, and they're telling stories, and they're all arranged chronologically.
Have you read, speaking of, have you read High Stepper? The autobiography of no one?
That's on my list, Tommy. I was going to start reading that after the show.
It is blank.
Hey,
yeah.
Go ahead, Tom.
No, go ahead. I was going to pivot.
I want you to pivot.
Okay.
Pivot.
I wanted to because I am still fascinated by everything going on with this movie, The New Mutants. Because,
I was going to pivot there too.
Were you? Because I have no interest in superheroes except Batman. But then when JJ made me watch this trailer 900 years ago, I was like, nice, because it looked spooky and it looked like a different way to do things. And I was so excited. And again, that was 900 years ago. It's finally now maybe coming out, which I do not believe. And I read an article recently about how now movie reviewers are boycotting it. They're not going to go because Disney, in all of their genius, aren't allowing any private screenings or secret links or anything. They're saying you just have to go to an unsafe movie theater and go see it. And movie theaters are, very infamously right now still at the top of the red line of what doctors are saying is not advisable. Sitting in a room with other people for a long period of time indoors, it's really checking all the boxes that you don't want checked. So I just feel like this movie just keeps, it's so dub thumper. It just keeps getting knocked down and it gets back up again. And they're like, yeah, but you can see it, but no sound. And you're like, what? So we're going to show it backwards. I don't know why this movie is I just feel so bad for the director. Maybe it's just terrible. I mean, that's also a huge possibility because it's been pushed so much. And with the change over to Disney, my guess is that they just watched it and weren't that excited about it. and so they're just sort of hemorrhaging it. But
well, the question,
I'm so
would you? This is the weekly COVID check-in. Are you any more tempted at this point to go to sit in a movie theater right now?
No, I guess I'm not hugely tempted, but I'm not going to.
I'm actually.
So I guess I don't know if that's like I guess that's not temptation. That's just that's
Right.
that's longing.
Right.
But no, I'm still not even getting a haircut. Like I'm not doing anything indoors.
I know. I think we have fully established that there is a party going on in the back right now.
Yes. And my hair is getting curly, so it's getting socially distanced from my own head.
Ray, where do you stand on the whole theater
Well,
thing?
I'm actually planning on going to.
Really?
Ray!
I'm biting the bullet, man.
Are you? Is it Tenet? Is that what's bringing you out?
No, I'm going to go see New Mutants.
The Empire Strikes Back. New Mutants is what it's going to do.
Well,
Okay,
that's what we were just talking about.
At least I know your price.
I'm going for that, and I want to see Inception again on the big screen.
Well, that's you're the first like real person that I've talked to who has outed themselves as excited to go sit in the darkened death trap. Congratulations.
Well, I'm going to play it like this. So I'm actually going to do it today. I'm going to drive over to the movie theater, and I'm going to
good start.
I'm going to sit there, and I'm going to.
You mean like outside?
Right. And I'm going to sit there, and I'm going to weigh the pros and cons. I'm going to ask myself, have I done everything in my life that I think I need to have done by this point?
Oh my goodness.
And
this is a vision quest.
As long as I'm fairly okay with the answer, I may go in and watch a movie.
Wow. What is your level of anxiety right now, if any?
I'm like 50-50.
Okay. So this is really the scales. This is exciting.
Big, Ray.
I got nothing else to do.
What safety? What safe? You could just go straight to the hospital.
Well,
what safety things are you going? You could really skip a step and just go. What safety things are you going to do? Just like super mask, super social distance.
So there's actually a movie that was covered on the next reel on the main show a couple of years ago called The Crazies. And I'm going to dress up in one of those full body suits with the gas mask, and I'm going to
that's the way to do it.
Carry an Uzi and
all in, Ray. That's it. Well played. Well, I can't wait to hear what you think.
Walk in with a bunch of empty IV bags attached to you so they can just put in whatever they need to save time.
Everybody get your pick lines ready, everybody.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. Yes, line them up.
Good luck, buddy. I hope we're not taking this too lightly. I don't know. I assume that it's okay to laugh at this kind of stuff, but you are braver than me, and that is probably what it's going to take is enough people that I know going and being like, they're really taking it very seriously and it's safe and you're not near anybody. But it's still, I'm just not there yet for a while.
Yeah. In all honesty, if I think there's too many people there, I'm not going to go in.
Sure.
Yeah.
That's great.
Yep.
I like the idea of being on the fancy about it when you're there. Mm-hmm. Sitting in your car.
Well, I can't wait to hear what you think. So whatever you think, you got to report back because I want to know if I should see this movie.
I will.
Yes. I'm pretty excited about it. Still excited. I'm like you, Tom. I mean, I have been jazzed since teaser trailer 1.
Yeah.
I'll tell you though, the thing that pushed me, although I am still not close to wanting to go to the theater, I did feel the tension when I watched Warner released a 6-minute behind the scenes for Tenet. And it's really focused on the athletic prowess of John David Washington, who is amazing.
Really?
And I know nothing about his history, but watch this thing, and it's one of those movies where the actor happens to have a certain physical prowess, and he's able to do things that a lot of actors aren't. And in this case, Christopher Nolan beat him up in this movie, tying him, throwing him up the sides of buildings, like just crazy stuff. And he did it all because that's the kind of commitment to these kinds of movies that they make. But it's old school, big movie. I'm very excited to see it. And this teaser definitely pulled those strings.
You know
So,
what one of my favorite
can't wait.
things about a Nolan release is? Every time there's a Nolan movie coming out, before it hits theaters, there's always an article that comes out saying, insert movie title name here, contains only this many visual effects shots, and it's an incredibly low number. And Tenet is the lowest one that he has done so far, containing only 280 visual effects shots.
That's low.
Well, and it's low, especially because I think what they're sort of cataloging those as is like cleanup stuff.
Oh, okay.
When you look at the on-set, like they're in production, shutting down 8 kilometers of highway to do these like highway things.
Okay.
There are no green screen anywhere. There's no green screen anywhere in these behind the scenes things. It's amazing.
Well, for comparison, your typical sci-fi action movie has more than 1,000 visual effects shots. So
okay, point made.
Yeah. So it ought to be good. I can't wait to see it on my home TV.
I thought you were going to say on your Quibi.
Right. I can watch a Christopher Nolan movie in 10-minute sequence.
Yeah.
Let's see. Do we have anything else we need to talk about? That we could do this all day.
Let's say we go to trailers.
Let's do it. I'm last. Go for it.
All right,
Ray.
So my trailer this week, I am so excited for. Like, you cannot measure my level of excitement. And I know that, Tommy, you couldn't care less about superhero movies.
No, but I like this guy. This guy is my guy because he's not a superhero.
All right. Well, there you go. My trailer.
He's just a rich depressive.
At Fandom, DC Fandom, they released a brand new trailer for The Batman, which is still in production. And let me tell you something. I'm not the biggest DC movie fan. I have not really cared for a DC movie since 2008, whenever The Dark Knight came out. And that movie I was incredibly pumped for. This one I'm incredibly pumped for. This movie, if you saw the trailer, looks a lot to me like the graphic novel Batman The Long Halloween. I don't know if either of you have read it.
No, I have. Yes.
Do you really?
I like Batman. I'm not a superhero guy, but Batman is famously kind of not a superhero, and that's why I like him. He's just a depressive detective. Ooh, depressive detective. That's fun to say. Yeah.
That's going to be the name of the next Batman movie.
The depressive detective.
Right.
If you are justice, please do not lie. What is the price for your blind eye?
The hell are you supposed to be? I'm vengeance.
So anyway, this movie, the trailer has been compared a lot to Seven. David Fincher's Seven.
Yeah.
It has,
that's interesting.
Yeah.
Very similar tone and feel to it.
Huh.
But I'm really excited for it. There's so many wonderful familiar faces in it. Of course, most famously, perhaps notoriously, you have Robert Pattinson in the title role playing Batman.
Who looks great,
I know, right?
Frankly. Yeah.
And I think the suit looks cool. The Batmobile looks pretty sweet. And then you can't tell me that last little bit there where they're like, "Who are you?" And he's like, "I'm vengeance." And like, I almost peed myself, you know?
I got nervous for a second, though. I love the trailer, too. But I was afraid because he's supposed to say, "I'm Batman." That's the line. And I was afraid he's like, "I'm Vincent." Wait. And then he has to like just keep hitting the guy or something. But yes, vengeance. It's very cool.
So you have Robert Pattinson, Zoe Kravitz as Selena Kyle or Catwoman. I don't know if you guys noticed this, but there was a chubby guy with black hair standing in the rain, and you see him for a split second. That was the Penguin, and that was a makeup-laden Colin Farrell.
It was not.
Yes, it was. It's been confirmed.
That doesn't look anything like him at all. That's incredible.
I know, right?
Wow.
So,
Wow.
yeah. And then I think at least from the trailer, it seems like the main villain of the movie might be the Riddler, who is being played by Paul Dano.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, I like Paul Dano.
Yeah.
That's great.
Yeah, that's a great casting choice.
Cool. I'm very excited.
Right. As far as release date, it looks like it's expected to be coming out in October of 2021. So,
all right.
That's a long time from now.
But it's a nice little teaser that they gave us.
Yeah, it was a good teaser. That also means we have now some runway of more teasers.
Right.
More teasers of this. I am looking forward to this a lot. And, you know, it's like it is the DC superhero that corners the market on just being mean, because all the writers in the DC universe are now, they just want their characters to punch things and be really mean. But Batman's the only one who gets it. He's allowed to be that character. Superman's breaking necks now. No, that's Batman gets to break necks.
Right.
Superman doesn't get to break necks. I still feel pretty strongly about that.
He's the
I'm
depressive
not
detective.
in favor
There you go, man.
of what has... Yes.
Did you guys
depressive
read,
detective.
speaking of graphic novels, did you read Batman Rich Jerk?
All right, Tommy, what's your trailer?
My trailer is something that I didn't really know what Shudder was. This is something that is on Shudder right now. And I heard such good things about it that I got a 7-day free trial for Shudder just for this, and then immediately canceled Shudder. But I thought this was great. This is a movie called Host, and a lot like the Unfriended series or the movie Searching, this entire movie takes place on a computer screen. And the whole thing is set up. You are joining it's called Host. Did I already say that? It's called Host, and it's by director Rob Savage. And it's a number of women get together on a Zoom call, and it's actually Zoom, so it's extremely familiar. And they're all joining together on Zoom as just a fun way to do a seance with someone. And they invite the wrong ghost in, and stuff gets crazy. And I had heard it was great. I'm a huge fan of the Unfriended, especially the first one, so I wanted to give it a try. And I thought it was brutally effective. It is really scary, and it also knows what it is, because this is why it's important to get the free trial. It is 56 minutes long. Some would say this is not really a film, even though they're treating it as such.
Yeah.
But as if you want to say a really long short or a movie novella, I thought it was really scary. It's one of those, like in the Paranormal Activities, where you are just riveted to the screen looking for anything moving, and it's got jump scares, it's got really creepy scares. The acting I thought was phenomenal. I really enjoyed it, and it takes place during COVID, because that's why they're doing a Zoom call. And at one point, like they put on masks for something. Like it's incredibly well timed. It uses the Zoom technology in a really smart way. I was floored. I really loved it. So if you want to go through the 7-day trial thing, I think it's worth it.
And it's got the demon footprints and
Wow.
the flower trick from Paranormal Activity.
It does. And and Invisible Man. So it's really a lot of fun. And
That's awesome.
I would treat it like a horror movie, like all lights off and stuff. Or better yet, it didn't occur to me till just now, maybe I should have gotten it and watched it on my computer screen. with earphones. That never even occurred to me, but that could have been another level of saturation.
I would love to watch it with you on Zoom.
Right.
In grid mode. So it's just you and the movie in another little grid.
Right. Yeah.
How small can you get it? Like, that would be the way to do this movie, I think.
Let's watch it now.
It's 5 Quibis. So it's only 5 Quibis long.
Hey.
Hi, guys.
Hey, guys. Rena. Caroline. Hi, Teddy.
Let's do a shot, guys, to us.
Okay, everyone get in. 3, 2, 1. Have you ever done anything like this before?
I've never done this over Zoom. Obviously, we're not physically together, but there's no reason why Spirit can't communicate over the internet.
Nothing's gonna happen.
Visualize us sitting in a circle. Spirit, we invite you to use us to pass on any communication. Is there anyone there? Please come forward. was that?
Amy, was that you?
I heard it.
I heard something. I think there's something here. Do you see that? Emma.
It's
That's
called
awesome.
Host on Shudder. The end.
Nice.
Pete?
All right, I have a movie, and back in 2017, a movie came out. This was when I was just really getting excited about watching horror movies, and I watched this movie, and I had a really, really good time. It was called The Babysitter. It is weirdly directed by Mick G, written by Brian Duffield. It was a Netflix flick, and it was all about a young man whose parents hired their regular old babysitter, and after the babysitter thinks that the young man has gone to bed, she brings over her blood cult friends, and they have a ceremony in his house and try to kill him. And so that brings us to today, The Babysitter Killer Queen, where it turns out all of the blood cult who died in the original movie, already a sequel, don't worry about it. They give it away in the trailer.
Right.
They all show up and they're dead now. They're now like supernatural, and they come back to haunt him and kill him again. And I had such a great time with the original film that I'm very excited to see that they brought everybody back. And it's directed again by McG and written this time by Dan Lagana, who has not done a lot of feature film work, but he has done. He's a producer on a bunch of TV stuff. American Vandal, Zach Stone's going to be famous, Deadbeat, Untitled Joe Exotic Project. So that's good. He's behind that. Anyway, I really had a good time with this. Robbie Amell is in it, and Robbie Amell is it used to be, I think you could say Robbie Amell is famously the cousin of Stephen Amell, the straight-up legitimate superhero who plays the DC superhero Arrow in the Arrowverse, who is an undisputed physical specimen.
Okay.
Well, so is Robbie Amell. Now, I think he is more famously known for his Amazon show, Upload.
Oh, is he the lead? He's very handsome.
He's the lead in... he's very handsome, very striking. And he's the lead in Upload, which is the sort of spiritual cousin, for many, many reasons, of The Good Place.
Right.
We made it through all of Upload, and it was quite good. He was quite good in it. I'm just stoked to see this movie.
Growing up is worse than a near-death experience. I can confidently tell you that because 2 years ago, my babysitter and her friends tried to kill me. The worst part is nobody believes me. And now everybody thinks I'm crazy, but I miss her.
You're a weird little dude with a crush on a murderous, fictitious babysitter. We just gotta get you laid.
That's your advice?
That's what the just came out my mouth, ain't it?
Cole, you're my best friend. You're not crazy. It's this place. We're all going to the lake this weekend. Just come with me. I already took my dad's car. It's just you and me.
We're back! Oh! Let's go, Cole! Oh, you okay? You look like you seen a gorgeous black ghost.
Don't worry, guys. I'm good.
Where's Sonia?
Getting cookies.
I watched you all die!
We are dead. Duh.
Clearly, you guys are into some heavy cosplay. Just leave it be.
I thought the trailer was a lot of fun, and the original Babysitter, I am embarrassed to admit, has been in my queue for, I think, since I saw the New Mutants trailer. It's been there for so long, and I've just never gotten around to it, and I don't know why, but this gives me an extra thing, an extra push. Ray, it seems like you're a fan.
Same here. No. The babies, like, you know how whenever you get on Netflix and as soon as you log in, it automatically plays a trailer for something?
Sure.
Yeah.
For a long time, it always did The Babysitter for me. And I'm like, okay, this looks kind of fun. I'll put it on my watch list, and then never got around to it. Like everything else that winds up on the watch list. Yeah. So that's where I stand with that, but I do want to watch it. And this one, like you said, looks like a lot of fun. You know what's really embarrassing? My exposure to Robbie Amell is from the X-Files.
Oh, who is he in the X-Files?
He plays a recurring character every once in a couple episodes.
Okay.
No kidding. Oh, no, he's good. We like him.
So,
and if he's more reason to watch the X-Files, so be it. Anyway, Judah Lewis is back. Robbie Amell, Hannah Mae Lee from Pitch Perfect. She's the percussionist in Pitch Perfect. She's fantastic. Bella Thorne is back. Leslie Bibb is back as the mom. Ken Marino is dad. I mean, they're all faces that you know, and you can see them all on September 10th. You're in your local Netflix time zone.
Nice.
Hooray!
There you go. We're done with the trailers now, and we're in the open forum of embarrassing Pete with trivia. Whose idea was this? What are we doing now?
The movie game? That was my idea.
Yeah. Oh, okay. Then you get to run it, Big Shot.
Most people are probably, there's probably a lot of games called the movie game. The one that I always grew up with and played countless times in college, especially on Stir Fry Night, which was a real bummer, was... one of us will start with let's just do a title. You'll start a title of any movie you want, and then we go around in a circle. The next person has to name an actor that is in that movie. Then the next person has to name a different movie title that actress is in, and then on and on and on and on until you get stumped. You can also, if it gets to the end and you can't think of another person, do you guys want to do challenge rules?
I don't even know what any of that means.
Everything I've said so far?
Well, I mean, I can listen.
Challenge is you have to be able to answer the question that you were serving up. So, for instance, if I said, Pete, if you said Tom Cruise and I said Top Gun, I have to name another person, even though it's Ray's turn. I have to be able to name another person that's not Tom Cruise in Top Gun, because Ray can always challenge me, and I have to be able to take that person's answer. That's just an extra little fiddle.
You've just made it even more terrifying.
Yeah. So you have to kind of know your stuff, or you can always bluff. But yeah.
Excellent.
Yeah.
Well, I'd like to play the role of the bluffer.
Well,
here we go.
There's a real strike already against you. Not sure if you know the word bluff. So I thought we'd give it a try. And Ray, because you were first in the trailer thing, do you want to start us off with any movie in the world?
Oh my. Okay.
And then it'll go to Pete, me, Ray, Pete, me.
Oh. God.
All right. Well, let's do, this is really random, but 99's The Mummy.
And 99's The Mummy.
And it has to get past one person.
it may not. That was with, what's his name? Handsome. He was the Cro-Magnon man in the other thing, and the lovely and talented,
don't keep giving you
Rachel Weisz. That's the right one, right?
Yeah. Okay. Brendan Fraser was the other person. Yes.
Handsome Cro-Magnon, you know. This is going to be great.
Wait a minute. This is literally a nightmare. Which one is Rachel Weisz? I'm so good at this game, and I never saw The Mummy, and I'm having trouble remembering who Rachel Weisz is.
So are you challenging me?
Not yet. Rachel,
Ray, do not say anything, Ray. I know what you're doing.
Who this is? The English Patient? Is that right? Is she in The English Patient?
I don't think so.
I don't think either.
I think you just lost on your game.
Oh no!
So
all right,
now
I'm out.
Does that mean
I'm out? And now it can either.
It's just me and Ray now bouncing back and forth with Rachel Weisz stuff.
Well, no. I think normally it would start over. So because you gave me that, you won that round, Pete. So you start with any actor or any title, and I'm just legit out. And I think we might have to play another round, but we'll see. Because that is ridiculous. And I'm immediately looking up Rachel.
You know what? I'm going to stick with Rachel Weisz for Ray. And I'm going to say About a Boy.
About a Boy. Okay. I haven't seen it, but I'm familiar, slightly familiar.
Really?
Yeah. Wait, I come up with a person. Okay.
Yes, you come up with a person.
Another person in About a Boy that's not Rachel Weisz, who is in, I'm looking right now, 900,000 movies that I've seen. Okay, well, that is horrible. Go ahead, Ray.
That's not with Steve Carell, is it?
It is not.
Okay, then I'm done.
Wow,
did I just win 2? I hate these kinds of games. You guys are terrible at this. Nice.
Wow.
Okay. I will, I'll stick with, so we're going to play again.
Oh, we
right?
are. Okay.
Does that mean I get to go first?
Yes, you get to, yes, it's ridiculous.
Okay. Because I can't get off Rachel Weisz properties,
I
will stick with About a Boy, and I will instead give you, Tommy, Hugh Grant.
Pass. No, just kidding. I know who Hugh Grant is. I will say the movie that everybody's in is the Christmas movie called...
Are you looking at your bookshelf right now?
I don't own it. I'm just looking at my books because I know I don't own this movie. If I can't think of it in 3 seconds, I'll pivot. 4 Weddings and a Funeral.
Love Actually. That's what you were thinking.
Love Actually. That's
it.
Yep.
Love Actually. Right. 4 Weddings and a Funeral. Classic.
So it's my turn.
Yes.
Yeah, you know what? Why couldn't you have remembered Love Actually? Because I haven't seen 4 Weddings and a Funeral, Tommy.
Oh!
You haven't? Even I've seen that.
You're a filmmaker.
So you can guess or you can challenge.
All right. Well, 4 Weddings and a Funeral. You know who was in that? Was that one guy,
girl,
and that one girl.
We are all on a movie podcast. This is insane.
All right, you know what? I'm out. I want to see you two duke it out. I can't
Challenge
think of
me
anything.
then.
Challenge you, Tommy.
I believe Andy McDowell.
That'd be the one.
Okay.
So now does it go to me?
Yes.
With Andy McDowell?
You can, or no, I restart it.
No. Can we please
Of
stay
course.
with Andy
Go
McDowell?
with Andy McDowell. Go for it.
Hudson Hawk.
You would.
Danny Aiello.
Danny Aiello. He was in Do the Right Thing. Do the Right Thing.
Nice. John Turturro.
Little Johnny T. I mean, I do love me some John Turturro, but right, I do, right? Oh, brother, where art thou?
I thought that was a part of your process. Right. John Goodman.
He has actually been in a couple of things with Turturro, right? They've been in things together. Like my very favorite, Barton Fink.
Correct.
God, this is a harder one.
What's his name? What's his name? Monk. What's his name? Well, I can't remember.
Yeah.
So I'll pivot. What is it? I already forgot what I'm doing. Oh, Barton Fink.
Yeah.
I really have to remember his name. Okay, here we go.
You're talking about Monk?
Yep.
Okay. We can do this as long as you want. I'll cut it. I'll cut all the dead air.
Okay. Thank you.
We'll just be here until tonight. It's fine.
I can only think of the name Danny Aiello. Because I think that's the first time I've said that name out loud in a decade.
I can't believe that is a weird pull, given Bruce Willis was the other choice.
I know. Well, because I wanted to make it more difficult, and then I messed up myself.
You just happened to pick movies that we did a series on, and so we've been talking about the relationships of all those movies. So,
The Marvelous Miss Maisel, starring Tony?
Yes.
Keep going.
Tony Shalhoub.
Yes,
right, Tony Shalhoub
is. Daddy? Tony Shalhoub has been in a lot of wonderful things, and you'd think that given the 23 minutes that you have been trying to think of his name, that I would have done a better job. Oh, okay. How about Marvelous Mrs. Maisel?
It has to be a film.
It does?
We're playing the movie game, remember?
Oh, all right.
He said
he was
creepily.
in the brilliant Galaxy Quest.
Justin Long.
Oh, those fantastic Mac versus PC commercials. But I know, I get it. Justin Long has been in some other really great things, like that one Die Hard movie, which has a number, doesn't have a number. It was patriotic. Live Free or Die Hard.
Correct.
It's all an effort to get you to say one name. And you're not going to say it.
Who? Brucey? I'm trying not to.
Out of spite.
I want to say, what's his name? Oh, man, I've gotten really poor at this game. Because I'm usually, if I can think of the role, then I can immediately think of the actor's name, and I am not doing good.
At least you're not out.
Justified, starring
yes.
Timothy Oliphant. Timothy Oliphant.
Yes, the
so
Hitman.
I have to say it out loud, so I have to pick a TV thing because then it goes together.
Yeah.
That's how I got Tony Shalhoub too. Okay,
and so I
You're
did
Timmy O.
Yeah, and so I did wasn't it just called Hitman?
Oh, the video game movie? Yeah.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
That's the.
Oh no!
I know he's been in a lot of incredible things, but the only one I have is Hitman, and it's going to be real ugly if I get challenged. I don't want to open the door to that too
saw
early.
That movie and I don't remember a single thing, so I've got a challenge. Is it Rachel Weisz?
Wow. Why would I have said that
surprising? You pulled a me
so fast. I'm trying to think of because there's another movie that we just talked about. I'm just going to say it out loud. Got a major movie crush on the female lead in this movie when I first saw Hitman. And she's been in a bunch of other things, and she has a Russian name, and she was... So I have to name her. I can't name the other movies that she's been in?
Correct. That would be skipping a step.
What? Are you sure that's not okay? Should you check the rules? Because I could name like 4 movies that she's been in right now.
Sorry, Pete.
Olga Blubnenko.
What?
Mm-hmm.
Olga Blubmenko? You can just make up names, I guess. Olga Blubmenko. What are you talking about? That's not a thing.
Crying out loud.
Her name is Russian Borscht Olga Kremlin.
Can't. Kremlin. I am out.
All right.
I cannot believe I got on a challenge in another universe. I'm married to her. That's too bad.
Hitman. What is the answer, Ray? Will you look it up? Hitman female lead? What were you doing this whole time, Ray? Come on.
Sorry, I was enamored with the game.
I need to play this game more. I am very, very rusty. I guess I haven't played it in forever.
I should have said Doug Ray Scott, but it's Olga Kurylenko. And she was in Quantum of Solace and Oblivion.
I know her. Sure.
Yeah.
Well, I'm the great big winner, guys. Not really. I won once and I lost horribly. So, all right. The end.
We did all right once we got into the Totoro cinematic universe. That was all right.
Yeah,
we did all right there. Should not have said Hitman.
It's a very surprising choice.
What else should I have chosen of Timothy Oliphant?
Go.
Well, you know what's funny? I could have said The Crazies.
Right. Yep.
The 2010
it was already
remake.
Mentioned. I love that remake.
Could have said
Go.
He was recently in Once Upon a Time in Hollywood.
Once Upon a Time in Hollywood.
Once Upon a Time in Hollywood, absolutely. The Girl Next Door, fantastic. He was great. There were way too many other wonderful Timothy Oliphant movies. Ugh, stupid. Good talk. Shall we do the list?
Hey,
you have 1.5 minutes. We have 90 seconds.
Okay, go.
To do it all. The list that we are talking, the movie that we're talking about is Cries and Whispers. It's a Bergman film. Have either of you seen Cries and Whispers?
Dude, I can't.
Is that Battleship Potemkin?
Okay, Ray.
Bergman and I don't get along, so.
No, he has a rough time socializing with others, is the truth, if you've seen this movie. The notable thing about this movie, it's a movie about four women who are in a rustic house. One of them is dying of cancer. One's a nursemaid and two other siblings. And they're just, a lot of things come out. They mutilate genitals. They die of cancer. It's just not. It wears its colors on its sleeve, and that color is red. This is one of those movies that Bergman made that is just saturated in red. The walls are red. The fabric is red. The floors are red. Everything is red, except for the clothes, which are black or white, that these women wear. So it is an opinionated movie about color. And that is why last week the team chose saturated, what's the word? Saturated production design. And that is where we begin today. I believe because the Batman came first that, Ray, it is your turn to start.
Well, funny you should mention Batman.
Oh.
Because my first pick is the most beloved Batman movie that ever lived, 1997's Batman and Robin, which is just, if I did this correctly, and there's a very good chance I didn't, because I had a hard time thinking, what is a saturated production design? Batman and Robin, the production design for this is over the top, and it is very much saturated in blues and greens for its villains, Mr. Freeze and Poison Ivy. And it can be, I wouldn't say it's oversaturated, but it does start to get to the point where your eyes are starting to feel assaulted.
Okay.
Is it really the colors that are assaulting you at that point, though, Ray?
I will defend this movie with my dying breath. I am like the one person ever that will, but you know.
Well played. All right, Batman and Robin is on the board. Tommy, what do you got?
One way to look at saturation is, could I just sort of say where color is extremely important? A certain color is really important, or does the whole movie have to be? Because I would like to say The Sixth Sense. Because it's sort of for the opposite of what Ray did. It is devoid of this color except when danger is around. Red.
Yeah.
Red represents the door that he goes into for the school. Red introduces the doorknob that what's-his-name can't go through. The balloon that goes up to the attic where the dead girl's probably hiding in a tent or something. I don't remember. But red is used explicitly to show fear, to show horror. And so that's really the importance of color coming through. Does that count as saturation? I don't know.
I think it could count as saturated.
Hooray.
All right.
Rachel
I'll give
Weisz.
it to you.
Yep.
Okay, so I will go. Rachel,
just slip that in there.
Oh dear. All right. Well, I'm going to go with a film that, as my first pick, a film that was released in 2017 from a director who is notoriously opinionated about color. That is Guillermo del Toro. The Shape of Water, I think, does something really interesting. Whatever you think of the movie and fish sex and all that,
like it.
The Shape of Water does some really interesting things, I think, with the way he uses color to make me feel. And that is, I feel like I am the Swamp Thing the whole time. Like it is all these deep greens and
Green, blues,
muddy browns
right, yeah.
and blues, right? And the whole movie is like that. And it just, I feel so at home in that universe because he never shocks us with any other colors, right? He never shocks us with reds or pinks or whites. Like, it's all muck. It is the color of muck.
That's
the
really
Shape of
true.
Water.
That might be one of the reasons I
really
disliked that movie.
Yeah, no,
I felt so unclean the entire time.
It is unclean. It's an unclean, and it's the same. It's interesting because I'm picking this because I'm kind of a fan of the way this makes me feel.
Yeah.
We're talking about Bergman in Cries and Whispers. I did not like that experience because I think it is, and I think I called it the unsubtle knife of color. Like Bergman has just said, everything is red, and red symbolizes everything.
Right.
So good luck, viewer. Like there's no enjoyment of like dealing with the symbology because it symbolizes everything. This is kind of Shape of Water is like a universal color of muck, and I think it's pretty powerful.
The Shape of Water looks like what it feels like to walk barefoot into a pond. Is that too much of a riddle?
I'll take it.
All right, Ray.
All right, Ray, what do you got?
Movie that's in my top 10 on Flick Chart, and that is the 1959 Alfred Hitchcock movie, or 1958 Alfred Hitchcock movie Vertigo, with Jimmy Stewart and Kim Novak, which makes excellent use of the color green in many scenes in the movie, showing how Jimmy Stewart is dealing with the dizzying effects of his fear of falling, how he's dealing with love and loss. And I think the most striking shot in the movie for me is near the end when he's in the apartment with Kim Novak and you see her silhouetted against a window with a green neon light outside, and it just looks otherworldly and beautiful and whoa, very green movie.
Absolutely. That is a great pick. It's on my backup.
Good choice.
I love it. Yeah, great choice. All right, Tommy.
My number 2, because I'm still being a real little stinker about red, is, and this is probably breaking all the rules of saturated production design, but I'm going to do it anyways. Kind of like how red was such a signal in The Sixth Sense, I picked a movie that has almost no color in it except for red, which is Pleasantville. And in this movie, once they go to the town of Pleasantville, everything is in black and white, of course, until they go through some kind of a love or sexual awakening, and then all of a sudden they start to see red in the world around them. And as the town becomes more and more alive and realistic and less morally bound, that more and more red and other ones come into. So color, again, is explicitly important to the movie, so I thought I'd try that.
I like that pick a lot. Talk about, color isolation, that one, and Sin City. That was another one that I was, I was lingering. Right. I hope I didn't spoil that for anybody. I didn't pick it. So, that's a great pick. I'm going to lean in on red too. For my second pick, and choose a film that I did not want to see. I thought it was going to be way overblown and I refused to see it. And Andy actually made me go see this movie. And I loved it. I hadn't been a fan of Baz Luhrmann, but I did love Moulin Rouge.
You stealer of picks, you.
I gotta steal. Talk about a movie that just leverages reds and rich pinks and blues. The film is just luxurious in velvet and the colors of the Moulin Rouge. So I'll take it.
You're luxurious in velvet.
Oh, I can't believe you stole my number 1.
Oh, Ray.
So since you stole my number 1, you son of a gun, you.
I did.
I'm going to go with the Grand Budapest Hotel.
Oh, sure. What's his name's color crazy?
Wes Anderson. I just discovered this movie a couple months ago, and I fell in love with it. I absolutely loved it, especially his use of blue and pink. Were just around the hotel. The production design of the hotel as it was when he's imagining it when Ralph Fiennes was the man in charge. I almost said Mater D. But just his use of pink, like whenever, do you remember that scene where the bellboy and his girlfriend are amongst all those cake boxes, and it's just, and just all that pink everywhere, and then there's a lot of pink and blue around, especially blue, I think, around the hotel itself. Just a very stunning movie to look at.
Good choice.
That is a great.
You could probably pick almost any of his movies.
I know.
Yeah. In fact, I was thinking about
super green.
Life
and
Aquatic.
yellow,
Royal Tenenbaums is all orange.
Yep.
And Fantastic Mr. Fox is mostly taupe.
Mm-hmm.
I am going to go for my final pick. Oh, it's a tough one. It is a tough one. This is a movie that came out in 2000. It is it's a Wong Kar-wai film. It's called In the Mood for Love.
Oh, I remember the trailer for that movie.
Yeah, I quite enjoyed this movie. It is the part of the discussion of the movie is just about how relationships kind of ravel and unravel, and the way he uses color in this movie. Our sort of primary female protagonist is the color of each scene is going to be somehow dependent upon what she is wearing, and I adore it. The color is just vibrant and beautiful, and I think it is. In terms of just like a straight up sort of drama romance movie, the way they use color accentuates their relationship, I think, in a really lovely way. And so I've got a bunch of other movies that are on my backup list that I think are great, but this one I think it really stands apart because of the intentionality, not just of making you feel a certain way because of the color, but actually tying it to, character behavior and production design in a way that I think is unique among all of these. So
I love it.
In the Mood for Love. And it's an 8.1 on the IMDb 6-star scale, which means it's really good.
You nailed it. My last one, fun fact, I'm going to watch it tonight. I've already seen it, but I haven't seen it in a long time, and I found my DVD of it. Yes, DVDs. I'm that person. And the film is called Run, Lola, Run.
What a great pick.
I haven't seen it in forever, but it's beloved. And one of the things I remember, or I am remembering incorrectly, and I will find out tonight that this was a terrible pick, but I remember the use of color to denote speed. That the really deep reds, there's a lot of, and then there'll be like a streak of blue going through it. It's always like these very horizontal sort of swaths of color, because so much of the movie is a countdown, and then all those the flash or the in between scenes. It's a flashback when she's talking to her boyfriend, are bathed in this red on red, and so I just really thought that movie struck out for me, and one of the reasons was color. So there it is.
Outstanding. And I just realized I totally stole your order. You were supposed to go before me.
I was wondering
so that
about
could have been a massive violation of the time-space list continuum.
Then I would like to choose In the Mood for Love. No problem.
Great set of lists. Now, can I tell you how I cheated? I sort of cheated. And I'm going to do it by sharing my screen.
My pick.
I did steal your pick. I did not intentionally steal your pick, Ray. All right. So I'm going to share my screen because I want to show you this fancy tool. And the tool is called, essentially a work of art, The Colors of Motion. So I had done most of my list, and then I found this website. Did you stumble across this by chance? Anybody?
No.
So The Colors of Motion takes movies.
Oh, I've seen these kind of things before. That's really neat.
So this one takes it takes the average color of every single frame of a film, and it stacks them on top of one another, frame after frame after frame after frame after frame, and then you get this waterfall as I scroll, and you can see the overall color theme of the movie. And so I strongly recommend going and checking out the Colors of Motion. Here's the Royal Tenenbaums. It's bright orange. Obviously, if you're listening to the audio of this, you're not seeing this, but just go to the Colors of Motion. You'll see it. Tenenbaums is like straight up orange with this slice of blue right in the middle, which I think is great. How about something like Tron Legacy? It's all browns and blues. I thought that was very cool and
buy
predictable.
prints of this? I love this.
You can buy prints of this. And so if you go to the main site, you can see like here are the prints. I'm scrolling. He's done so many movies. So here we go. 12 Angry Men. It's a black and white movie. So not surprisingly, it's black and white. But here's 2001: A Space Odyssey. I associate orange with Space Odyssey, but it's mostly pinks and purples. I thought that was really funny. So I think this is a really cool site and piece of art, and the artist is should name drop the artist because it's that good. It is Charlie Clark. Charlie Clark. Charlie Clark does some good work, and these are great prints, and you should order them and put them in your home. There you go.
Cool. I'm definitely going to look up some films on that.
Yeah, he's done a bunch. That's it. So now we have to come up with what is coming up next week. Oh, dear.
What do you guys
know?
What are you doing on the show?
About?
Yeah, let me see if I can remember. Oh, we are doing The Postman, Il Postino, 1995. Michael Radford, have you seen it?
Yes, a long time ago.
It is a delightful movie, and there are a couple of things going on in this movie that I think are worth talking about. The first is that it's adorable, and if adorable counts for like award-winning, this movie should win all the awards because it's cute. I don't know if it's a romance between our postman and his love interest or Pablo Neruda, but it is just great. So we have a few suggested topics, but I'm curious, especially Tommy, if you've seen it, do you have any sense of what you might like to build a list out of? And Ray, have you seen it or have you read the synopsis?
You should know from the movie game that I haven't seen any movies.
Outstanding. Nailed it down. So this is a movie about Pablo. It's actually about a man who lives on this island in Italy, and Pablo Neruda is put in exile. He has to leave Chile and move to Italy for a time with his lover. And our postman, he takes a job as a postman with only one customer. He has to deliver Pablo Neruda's fan mail up to this isolated home on the hills, and they end up having a relationship when the postman declares that he wants to be a poet. And so it is a movie that celebrates language and poetry and like discovering who you are in the world, and it's kind of an origin story of a man who works with language, and it's just lovely. It also happens to be the main character, the actor playing the main character was in essentially heart failure during the entire production. And it was his passion project getting this made. He's the one who actually took it to the director, Michael Radford, to make it. And within just a couple of days after they finished principal photography, he died. He had a heart attack and died in his sleep. And so these are all things that kind of carry into our suggested topics, movies about mail carriers. Like that's it. And that might be a very timely list subject, given what's going on in the United States right now.
I was wondering if we could open it up more to, because if he's a postman, I don't like taking the suggestions. I think I'm on record for that.
I know you. I know you're a real anarchist.
If he's a postman that only has one client, what about odd or unusual vocations?
You got it.
That could be maybe open it up a little bit from just mail carriers.
Okay. Okay, so that's one. We also have, just like living on an island.
I like that one. Island life.
Like island movies.
Yeah.
Island. All right.
Ray?
I'm sorry. I'm just thinking of that song Island Girl by Elton John.
Oh,
by the High Stepper.
Right.
Word 'em up. Different.
And then I'll tell you the one that I'm sort of partial to is movies with like these interesting sort of actor backgrounds, like the fact that he died during this production. And,
so maybe actors who
that would be challenging.
Sure. The problem is, it's like really grim. Like, can you find all the actors who died in their production?
Well, does it necessarily have to be death?
Maybe got the flu.
Got the COVID.
I just can't think of another story that would be. Is that horrible of me? How gallows! I can't think of anything else that would be interesting.
Yeah, put it in there. We don't have to pick. They have to
pick. Okay. Shortly after production, actors who died after production is a lot more than shortly after production.
Right, it's got to be within the same little bunch. All right.
Within the bunch. Outstanding.
How many of them worked for James Cameron?
Okay. Hey, good list, guys.
Good work.
I'm excited about it. Thank you, everybody, for showing up to this our fair Saturday matinee. Wish Ray good luck on his Saturday outing. And
that's right.
We hope to have a full and fair report next week.
I will bequeath all of my Blu-rays to the group if I shouldn't make
Outstanding. Oh, God, that's awful. It's a 14-day quarantine after every movie that you see. You just have to not go outside for 14 days.
Yeah, you're going to want those Blu-rays.
You're going to need to keep those around. So thank you, everybody. Thank you, Tommy. Good to see you, buddy.
My pleasure. This was great, as always.
Thank you, Ray.
Thank you.
Enjoy the film.
Will do.
All right, everybody. Have a great week, everybody. We'll see you next week. Bye.